While watching the snows of winter melt away in March, I realized life doesn't begin in the womb or even in conception. Life begins when things start to move, and this starts a chain reaction that ultimately yields things such as human birth. Daigai accepts this chain reaction of how one's life should be, but where did Daigai learn to think like this? Quite naturally, from his parents. I then wondered what my students thought of their Daigai parents.
That's a tough question. I love my parents, but that's what everyone says. I don't think I would, just because, my father works a lot, and then my mom is, she stays at home and stuff. Probably not. I just don't, know how to, compare myself to them.
Quite typical, I suppose.
Most young people care little for their parents' structured lifestyles.
Nice house. There's not that much to say about them, really.
What did they do?
The usual.
And that means?
The usual things their type of people do.
My entire life path has been set so that I do not end up like my parents. I have learned from my siblings' mistakes and my parents' mistakes and hope to never end up like either of them.
But what about my students who are already parents?
It's good. It's different. It's definitely something I didn't think I'd get into, but I don't see myself living any other way. It's great. It's rewarding to be a parent.
I don't know if I totally buy that answer. Indeed, kids can be pleasant as a summer's day, but does having kids pretty much end Night Guy's existence? Or is there life after kids?
I'd just much rather be having fun with friends rather than having to stay at home with a kid. I mean, I love him, but sometimes you just want to get away from it and just kind of have your own life.
But maybe having kids isn't always so pleasant.
Hey, what the frickin' thing is up, fucking?
Some point, but not for a while. Maybe when I'm 40.
I'm with him, but for me, it'll probably be closer to 50.
Well, they're not happy, my dad's happy, with us, but they're not really happy with each other. They have relationship problems.
I don't know, I think they just jumped to marriage too quickly.
I don't know, because I just feel like everything that they worked so hard for is now, they don't have anything to show for it, because now their lives are completely worse than when they were together, so I definitely don't want to be like them.
What do you mean by end up like my parents?
Again, according to the Daigai philosophy, you gotta follow a certain path. But is that always such a good idea?
Is my mom happy? I don't think so, because all she does is work and then comes home and does the same thing every day.
My dad is, he's pretty happy. My mom seems real happy too. My dad's more happy. I don't know, he didn't have anything he did when he was younger, because they weren't really, he wasn't financially blessed, so now that he has everything he has, a nice house in the suburbs, compared to he used to, not live in a very good area in Milwaukee. He's just happy. Sometimes I'll catch him staring out the window. He's just super happy. He's can't you believe we live in this beautiful area? Isn't it awesome? And I'm just well, yeah, I guess. It's cool.
If you start with nothing, then the middle class lifestyle must indeed seem like a dream achieved. But the Night Guy part of me detests this sort of lifestyle. I mean, is this all there is?
I would come out from behind the stage.
Showmen like John Waters certainly don't think so.
The kids never saw you, and they see this man come out with the dragon puppet and make each one of the kids stick out their hand, and I'd bite it for good luck. 90% of the audience, they loved it. The other 10% of the children had nervous breakdowns. They were the cowards. They're the ones that still leave up the street from their parents and have boring jobs and reach their peak in high school.
I myself, I just can't picture it. I can't see me just sitting around every night, just watching TV, maybe going to my kids' games, and that's like the excitement of the week is like, hey, my kid's got a basketball game.
But for a lot of depressed day guys, the only way they can find happiness is through such activities.
Because a lot of parents try to mold their children into something that they want them to be. And I think, when they're little, they don't really realize that, but when they get older, though, that's when they start having problems with them, because they're not able to be their own person.
Indeed, I find these day guy dads are somehow trying to bring back that sense of freedom kids naturally possess into their own lives. But they chose their suburban tombs, and now they have to accept the blandness that comes with it.
It puts food on the table and a roof over our heads with me and my sister.
When you have kids, it ultimately comes down to that. You gotta feed and shelter them. This means you gotta get a job to support them. And this means loss of the freedom night guy so cherishes.
I think starting a family would be a good thing, an enjoyable experience. Never really thought about why I thought that way, but
Is there a way then that you can have kids and still retain some night guy status?
Then I show them a good time. I mean, don't go overboard and flood them with everything you can do in life right away, but ease them in and then be a part of that. Don't just watch them have a good time. You can also join them.
Well, that sounds like a reasonable answer. Maybe a harmonious chord can be found in the twilight in between the day and night worlds.